with PiPPiN and Muradin. At the moment, it is 2-0 up to Muradin as we go into this third and could be final game if Muradin wins. Can PiPPiN pull it back? We'll have to wait and see as we start this map. It is a new map, Polo Night. We did see it the other night. We did see PiPPiN do an early drop, but as we have seen in the previous two games, the drops haven't been very effective at all. As I would think, I wouldn't think mine drops will be that great against Terran. The SUVs are a lot stronger, and they have scan. Against Protoss, mine drops can be really effective, as we did see. But against Terran, I would like to see maybe a couple of medium drops if possible, or Banshee, or just a couple of Marine drops instead if he's going to do that. So I'd like to see PiPPiN do a bit of the basics here. Try and get an early expansion, push out, defend the expansion, get a couple of those towers to see if drops are coming. A bit more scouting would also be a lot better for PiPPiN.
Yep, completely agree with that, PLuTo. If you have a look at this map, it's a map where you have to scout on this map. We've got a lot of ramps where players can actually go up and down. Now, the problem with all of these ramps now is that it actually needs some scouting. If you're on the lower ground and you can't see what's happening on top there, you've got a little bit of a problem. So I think scouting here is going to be of crucial importance. I would definitely recommend 1 or 2 Ravens even to get on this map, just to make sure that they've constantly got the high ground. It's a unit that's quite versatile. We've seen what the what the drones can do. We've seen what the turrets can do, and I think it's a good map, where you can actually use an army to a foot army. So I would definitely like to see some mass Marines, Marauders coming out here with some siege tank support.
I agree. I would like to see a bit of a macro game from PiPPiN, just to be able to expand early and just to see what his potential is. We've seen 2 completely different games from PiPPiN at the moment, where he tried to drop that really didn't go well at all, tried to push Muradin as well, and going for those early Reapers could have worked, but not being able to scout, not seeing those double tech labs, even if he had been able to scout and see those double reactors, he would have expected a lot of Marines not being able to see it, see the gas, so he wouldn't have known for Reapers. But not scouting at all, not being aware of what Muradin had in that previous game, he definitely needs to focus on that scouting.
It's also got a lot of openings. There's multiple angles from attack on this one. You can harass the main from the one angle, and then you've got actually 2 ramps leading up and a high ground at the back of his natural as well. So this map really leaves it open for people to be attacked from any single angle. And it actually does seem like we've got some error in the game at the moment. Someone is not loading in or actually not working.
Yeah, I do see that. It has kind of stopped a quarter of the way. But I know Carl does like the siege tank outside the natural expansion, and this would be a very good map for that. We see there is an area at the bottom where you could have 2 or 3 siege tanks, having a little bit of sight with maybe a dropship. Medevac, he could do some damage to the middle line, but we'll have to see. Yeah, bottom of the map, we have our blue Terran, which is Muradin, who has got a 2-0 lead, and at the top our green Terran, who is PiPPiN, and he is 2-0 down.
Yep, so I think from here what we're going to see, we're just going to see that standard opening. I would put money on the fact that PiPPiN is going to try and block off that ramp again. If we have a look at Muradin's, Muradin's build, he's just going to build, I think once again, he's going to build that 1 supply depot. There it goes down, 1 supply depot, and a little bit later he's going to add on the barracks and just go for a standard build. So as we actually sit and wait for this game to develop into something that we can actually make meaningful comments on, what do you think of his recent performance in the DGL?
PiPPiN or Muradin?
PiPPiN's.
He did 1v1, am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm not sure if he actually did win a game. Did he win a game?
No, he did not.
But that would be, some good experience on his side. Just for that DGL should provide a little bit of extra experience from his side compared to Carl, who hasn't played too many 1v1s. I know of recent he has tried a bit more. But I would like to see PiPPiN try and do a bit more scouting, because as we look at this, we look like a standard opening again with a Reaper, that early refinery and barracks after, so definitely an opening Reaper, I would say.
Yep, definitely a possibility, unless he actually decides to go Banshees. But you know, one would actually expect that extra gas to go down before that. And as we can see, PiPPiN walling down very tightly again. So it's a pity I'm not a gambling man. Otherwise, I would have made a little bit of money off this. But,
That is true.
I think what we are going to be seeing from PiPPiN here. I do not anticipate him changing his builds too much again. I think he's still going to mix it up with some Marines, Marauders, and just some mines as well. I do not, however, think he's going to go for a drop again. Not based on his success of that in the previous 2 games. So I do not think we're going to see any drops.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually. If they do decide to do a drop, it should be one big drop. Not doing a couple of Marines or anything like that. He should scan though before. At the moment, in the previous games, when he did do a drop, he would go in very blind and not be aware of those turrets and losing that dropship. We do see an SCV going through the back here. Maybe a barracks, or maybe a supply dip, a starport. I would think it could be a starport because we do see a factory going out here. We have got double gas. Definitely Banshee. I would see this going into a Banshee.
I completely agree. I think we're going to see some cloaked Banshee arrays here, and given the previous games, PiPPiN actually building some of those turrets in his mineral line, he's not going to be expecting this.
Not at all. Which might be a little bit of a problem. So no engineering bay. We do see a mine. Are we going to see the mine around his base, around his mineral line? Just knowing the player, I would think he is going to move his mines to the front of the ramp.
I actually favour that play, of actually putting an early mine in your mineral line. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. And he could actually put that, just a little bit further to make sure that he can get that Banshee before it cloaks. And there we see the startboard going down. That is definitely going to be some Banshee ration coming.
I definitely agree, and I would like to see a couple of mines. Yeah, it's Helions. Helions are coming out from this factory as well. So it looks like he's going to come with a couple of Helions through to the front, while that Banshee does a couple of arrests from the back. That mine might be able to pull it off if it's sitting in the front. But at the moment it's just standing there, not really doing much. But that starport is just about up. We're going to probably see a tech lab going.
What is quite weird is the fact that he is building Hellions. 2 Hellions. I think those are mainly for scouting. If you look at PiPPiN's base, there's absolutely no ways that anything's going in there. He's actually very cleverly building his command center right up his ramp at the moment, and then going to fly it over. Just make sure that he's got his defenses down there, and he loads up that medevac.
And this could actually work. There is no turrets or anything in his base. There's no units in his base. This could be a good drop. But at the same time, at what cost? That Banshee, not a Banshee.
It's not a Banshee.
It's a medevac.
It's actually a medevac. So he's going to drop the Hellions into his mineral line. That's a very, very clever move. But he actually needs to get that mine. Where did the mine go? The mine, he loaded it into the medevac. He's going to drop it in his mineral line. So it seems like they're just going to trade economies at the moment.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
And we see 2 more Marines and 2 more Hellions. And here
Hellion dropped. Here we go. Oh.
And this is going to do a ton of damage. There's not a lot that he can do here. And the question is he going to take... Yep, he takes all of his SCVs away very, very early.
And there's nothing he can do here. Nothing at all. Marines are scattered down. Where that mine is going to drop in his base. There we go. But it looks like Muradin has this. All his work is gone. Can't do anything. He just moves his SCVs. So it was a drop, but there's not much he can do.
And income for both these players standing at 0 now. So pretty much what you see at the moment, we've got a 12 supply to a 48 supply, and most of that actually currently sitting in the army supply. All 12 of that is sitting with PiPPiN. 23 army supply for Muradin.
He should try and build a Banshee, not having minerals anymore. Should land that there and try and get a Banshee out fast. That Banshee will be able to kill those Hellions. I must say this was not expected. Those Hellion drop, which is a very good move.
Yeah, completely agree. I think this is pretty much a stalemate now for
And the Banshee does
for
come out.
PiPPiN. And there we go.
Well, there is no production from both players, so at the moment it is going. Can he get that Banshee out fast? That Banshee will be able to do a couple of damage.
And there we go, those mines getting cleaned up now, and from here onwards it's just downhill. So PiPPiN literally got nothing, and it does seem that Muradin's going to take this game 3-0.
Not doing enough damage with those mines, just managed to pull those SCVs away. Again, drop not really going well. 23 workers are on that mineral pile at the moment. It is too many SCVs. That Banshee is going to come out soon. And there we go. You'll be able to take those down. Can you get that dropship there? There goes down another.
There we go. So he might actually be able to clean up these Hellions and then just plant his base down again. Luckily, thank goodness that he's playing against Marines. He can actually, pull down those, those mules to actually help him with his economy. So he's not stuck on 0 at the moment. But exactly like we saw in all of the other games, if for Muradin, it's purely just a game of numbers. Just put my opponent behind and just make sure that my economy and income is greater than his.
Definitely. At the moment, he's going to be summoning some mules, but he does not have enough SCVs. He has 4 SCVs at his main base, at his expansion, and here he comes in, and those 4 SCVs are going to be taken down, targeting the command center, where he should try and go around and kill those SCVs. And there we see it. SCV's gone, and those Marines are going to take down the command center.
Oh, and he brings out a Viking as well. So now he's got a fence in the air and on the ground. And there's not a lot that PiPPiN can do from this. He's trying his best to actually save this game, but this is pretty much just over.
Pretty much, it looks like it's going to go down by 3-0 in this best of 5 encounter. That command center needs to land, although I don't see it really doing much. Going in for the main ramp. Can that mine go down? No. He's going to push in here.
That man right there. Okay, and he's pulling the mine back now. He's not planting it. It's not going anywhere.
Not having cloak either.
And this
Banshee's down.
is just bad. And he's going to try and take some extra Marines out. That mine should connect pretty well, and it took quite a bit, but not enough, unfortunately. If we look at army supply, it's 5 against 17.
No, definitely he's going to go down 3-0 in this game. No SCVs at the moment. We have 1 mule there, but in seeing that, and it's GG in its game.
And that's a 3-0 victory for Muradin.
Yeah, like we saw some nice diversity there with Muradin, trying a lot of different things. PiPPiN not being able to see what he is doing. 3 different gameplays and strategies from Muradin. Definitely the better player on the evening. Taking that early expansion, I suppose not too early, but not having enough units to be able to deal with that Helion.
Yeah, completely agree. We didn't see any upgrades actually being spent in this game at all. And what's very interesting, if you look at the resource collection, it literally just plummets to 0 for quite a while for both players, but PiPPiN trying to get that up, but right in the end, all of those Helions just coming in and absolutely decimating his economy.